out of Ravenna on the number 33s. We're going to try to get Bubba bring it on out to the track here and line it up. Bubba is a 3-year-old driver. Now hold him up here. We're going to bring you out one at a time. We got Blake Pirates, who is 5 years old, out of Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. That's number 100. Now we do have Mallory Heater on the number 7 out of Alliance. That's the 811 machine coming in right there. Jessica Sands out of Ravenna coming on right now. Now Jessica is 6 years old. Here's a 2-year-old driver. This is Paige Heater on the number 1120. Paige is here out of Alliance. Following her is going to be the number 05. That's Brooke King out of Warren. Mason Lovejoy out of Randolph. 5-year-old driver coming on now. Brandon Gamble, who is 5 years old, is out of Dalton on the number 81. Kind of got a fancy helmet out there. Now following him is going to be the number 10, Jaden Eichler, who's 5 years old. We got the number 20, that's Bo Tasker out of Wayland. Now Bo is a 5-year-old driver. Right in front of us right now, that is McKenna Stepp on the 708. Now McKenna is 5 years old. Sounds like McKenna's got a cheering section up there. Obviously, folks, if you hear somebody you know, put your hands together for them. Now we have Bailey King coming out here on the number 04. And Bailey also a 4-year-old driver out here. Now Madison Brewer on the 329 out of Ravenna coming on right now. Madison is 5 years old. And we got a driver out of Alliance, that's Taylor Hoy. Again, 7 years old running out there. We've got Gunnar Hay on the number 5 out of Alliance. Gunnar's 6 years old. Looks like he's got a fancy Hulk outfit on there, so it looks like he's going to be ready to tear things up. We got the number 928. Looks like he's getting a little bit of work done to it out here. Uh-oh, looks like we do have some trouble with the 928. Hopefully they can get that thing running. But that is Kylie Biglin out of Shelby. Kylie is 7 years old. Now, we've got 2 of them on this one. That's Anna Miller and Haley Miller. Anna Miller is 6. Haley is 3 years old. They're out of Outwater, and that's a number 96 machine. And we do have the 4D. That's Aiden Madison out of Rootstown. Now you're going to see another 4D coming in here a little later in the truck event. Now we got some BFFs coming on right now. We've got Alyssa Blackwell on the number 06, who is also 6 years old. And her BFF, that's Ava Moffitt on the 006 out of Hartville, who is also a 6-year-old driver. And finally, Christian Atkins out of Atwater on the number 65. Who is 7 years old. Now that looks like a wild lineup. Quite the motley crew we have out here on the track. James Thomason, he is the fair board member in charge of getting the demolition derby put together. And he's got that John Deere machine out there, and all day long he's been talking about bringing that out here and mixing it up with these. But I think it's a little unfair today, so we're going to have to take you off the track so that these youngsters can have a little bit of time all of their own. We'll put you in with the Leaf class here. You go in with the Smasher cars here in just a little bit. Maybe the truck class. We'll see how things go. But it looks like everybody stepped back. And if you would, please help me. Give them a countdown starting with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let them go. And they are off and running here in the Smasher Crash and Tear Mobile Hot Wheels Power Wheels event. And these are some hot drivers out here. We've got them heading down to a different zip code down at the far end of the track. We're going to try to keep them all down here toward track center if we possibly can. Head referee let them slip right on by. He's been doing this long enough. Now, folks, if you do have a youngster that might be interested in something like this, we do run these at each and every Smash Demolition Derby event. It's just a fun way to get the youngsters involved. Got a lot of these drivers have parents or older siblings that are driving in the Demolition Derby. So this gives them a little project to do in the shop. And we do try to keep the modifications to a minimum in the Power Wheels event. They can switch the batteries around to give it a little bit more running life. They can put a few screws in the rear tire. But obviously want to keep the modifications to a minimum out here just for fun for these young people to try to get them involved in the sport. And I'm sure that hopefully quite a few, if not all these, will get the desire to carry on the sport of Demolition Derby. Now, drivers, if you are back in the pit area, you need to get your vehicles through the inspection line as quickly as possible. We do have the Power Wheels event going on as we speak. Once the Power Wheels is over, we are going to be having the drivers meeting while they get the track prepared. So drivers, keep that in mind that we're going to be having the drivers meeting for all the other classes once the Power Wheels have concluded. But once again, we do want to make sure everybody does get recognized out on the track, so we know that Bo Tasker out of Wales is on the number 20. Melissa Blackwell out of Mogador is on the 06. Ava Moffat on the 006 out of Hartville. Gunnar Hoy is on the number 5 out of Alliance. Taylor Hoy on the black Ninja four-wheeler, also out of Alliance. Lake Pirates out of Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, all the way over here on that number 100 machine. We got a couple drivers out of Warren. We got Bailey King on the 04, Brooke King on the 05. Paige Heater on the 1120 out of Alliance. Mallory Heater on the 811, also out of Alliance. Now we do have a couple of them falling off the pace, pulling off to the side. Now any driver that does not make it all the way through, just hang tight. We want to make sure that each driver does go back to the pit with their trophy in hand. We do have the 708 McKenna Stepp out of Ravenna. Jessica Sands on the number 6, also out of Ravenna. Brandon Gamble on the 81 out of Delta. Bubba Thacker out of Ravenna on the 91. Jaden Eichler out of Randolph on the 10. Got a four-wheeler out there. That's Mason Lovejoy out of Hartville. And Madison Brewer out of Ravenna on the 329. Christian Atkins out of Atwater on the 65. Abe Madison on the 4D out of Rootstown. And finally, Hannah and Haley Miller out of Atwater on the number 96. Now I do want to send a big thank you out to Debbie Heater. Debbie Heater has been over here both days, keeping us in business and doing a lot of work, getting things coordinated, so we do appreciate all of her work to help promote the Smash and Demolition Derby throughout the year. Tonight, once again, she got all the drivers lined up out here. We always appreciate Debbie Heater and the work that she does here at your Portage County Randolph Fair. And once again, drivers back in the pits, please get your vehicle through the inspection line as quickly as possible. We are going to be having the drivers meeting here in a few moments. And again, any driver that does fall off the pace, the vehicles fail them, make sure they don't go back to the pits before getting the trophy. And that's one good thing about having a BFF out on the track, your best friend. You've always got a second set of wheels. If yours goes down, they can pick you up. And that's exactly what happened. Looks like we have Melissa Blackwell and Ava Moffett now both riding in the same vehicle this time. You got to adapt and keep moving on. We do have the number 06 kept on rolling. Here comes the number 4D around in the corner. That's Aiden Madison out of Rootstown. And we are going to be seeing another 4D out on the track as Pops brings out his truck here in the truck event. And once again, if you do have a driver that wants to participate in one of these years, very easy to get into this. The nice thing is the project gets these kids out into the shop or out to the garage. They can put the stickers on the car, paint them up, put a set of stacks or headers on this, and get it race ready for the demolition derby. That looks like we are down to the 2-minute warning out here on the track. So once again, we do want to make sure all of our drivers get some recognition out here. Again, we have Christian Atkins out of Atwater, Ava Moffett, Melissa Blackwell now riding in the number 06. Aiden Madison out of Rootstown is out there. Anna Miller and Haley Miller are our other drivers out there. I understand Anna's been doing this for about 3 years now. Kelly Biglin out of Shelby on the 928. Gunnar Hay out of Alliance on the number 5. We do have Taylor Hoy out of Alliance also. Madison Brewer out of Ravenna is on the 329. Bailey King out of Warren on the 04. Kenneth Stepp on the 708 is out of Ravenna. Bo Tasker out of Wayland on the 20. Dave Eichler out of Randolph's on the 10. Brandon Gamble out of Dalton on the number 81. And Mason Lovejoy out of Randolph. Brooke King out of Warren on the 05. The 1120 being driven by Paige Heater. Now Paige is the youngest driver on the track right now at 2. So Paige getting started at a very young age. Jessica Sands out of Ravenna. And Mallory Heater out of Alliance on the 811. Blake Pirates out of Beaver Falls, PA was on the 100. And finally, Bubba Thacker out of Ravenna on the number 33, rounding out the field. Okay, if we can bring them to a stop out there. And folks, if you would, put your hands together for these youngsters out here in the Power Wheels event. Looks like they're still having a great time. The ones that still have a vehicle rolling, but we do appreciate the parents and the drivers as well getting involved in the sport here. Again, it gives them a great opportunity to get out in the shop and build their cars up and get involved in the sport at quite a young age here. So we do appreciate everybody taking the time to participate in the Power Wheels event here on night number 2 of the Smash Demolition Derby 2016 Portage County Randolph Fair. And that's the sign of victory as the trophy is hoisted high in the sky right there. So that's what we'd like to see with these youngsters having a fantastic time. And again, thanks so much to all the parents and the drivers for getting their vehicles ready. Now, if you are back in the pits, we need all the drivers to get finished up with the inspection. We are going to be having the drivers meeting here in just a moment or two. Again, the trucks are going to be up first. Up second is going to be our youth event. Then we're going to roll into the Smash class and finally round things out with our mini cars tonight. So a lot of great demolition derby coming up.
final polish. And on down to a little bit of and out. got to use the Armstrong steering in the number 7. He's sitting right going out the middle round right now. Looking at the man. He's down there around that way out there. On back right now. We got the 1-2 finish. $1,250 going to be going to the winner. $500 going to be paid out for the second place finish today. Rolling out from each one of them. Maybe a little bit of smoke coming out of the engine department right now on these 1-2. Those drivers standing strong out here in late 1. Leading on night number 2. Oh, it looks like maybe momentarily. His way on down the track. Right now, we're trying to get a little bit of elbow out here. Neither one of them has to go up the steering on this. That's the flat in there. Able to wiggle his way off the he's shipping his way out. Trying to get 22 re-fired. It's okay. 22 is on the time to try to re-fire. Down here, but he's 22 degrees fire. Take a close one out of here. And there it is. Looks like the time is fire. 22 gets all out. That means number 7-0. This hammer got a hook down. 65. Be nice engine. That drives construction. Going to be walking away with first place finish here in the full-size truck event. And the checker flag. That hammer is behind the wheel. Number 7-0 out of the wrist now. Take away with it. Steve Shook is a 22 out of the 8. Let's take away the second place finish. Third place was Mike Evans in the 410X, also out of a Roots now, sponsored by Eldridge Photography. And finally, the 9mm Power Eberhard out of Atwater, rounding out our top 4. Now, again, this is a $1,250 to win, $500 for second, $250 for third, and $100 for a fourth place finish here in the full-size truck event. Down towards the track, looks like going past the number 10 out of West, sponsored by West Branch Marina. Here comes the 0-1. That's Amanda Remington out of Diamond, sponsored by Mike Ford, Ruben Farm Marketing. The honor. Looks like that's the JF2. That's Deacon Foster out of Randolph, sponsored by Lever Construction and 6N Bed Racing. Number 935, Alyssa Smith out of Atwater, sponsored by Backyard Pleasure Pool. Here comes Milo Murphy out of Woodstown, the 71. Mid-Vid, don't you know it's located right here on the ground inside the main grandstand area. I invite you to go over and get you some of that if you haven't yet tried it. Here comes the number 10 and a half. That's Brady Passer out of Whalen front line, the West Branch Marina. And the number 72, Alex Fillmore out of the list now, sponsored by Dad, rolling on the track right now. And again, folks, you'll notice these are double occupancy cars. You do have a very brave adult in the passenger seat. Here comes number 825, Joe Heater out of the line, sponsored by Car Wheel Roofing. There goes the 8701, the Central out of the list now, run by the Wheels drive-through at Hanover location. That's GMO with the 88 J.R. Raw out of the roots down. He just rolled on to the track. All right, here's going to be number 5. The goal. Out of Ashwater. The double zero. This rifle out of a Randolph. Front by portage exterior Wells. Portage exterior as well. Paul. The MC40 JR, that is Hudson Krieger out of the room now. The 3.14 Daniel Mars out of the Randolph coming on the track right now. Here comes the 9, one side, Hunter Silver out of Springfield. Down to the outside stage. Tech Auto Body. 124. Out of Ravenna, sponsored by Interstate Auto Instruction and Marco Hydro. The 88 next up, that's Christopher Murray out of Atwater. Matthew McLean's in the number 19 out of Ravenna. I believe that's going to be the number 23, Anna Myers out of Akron. Come on right now. Now again, most all these drivers are between the ages of 12 and 16. There goes the number 10. Neil McKnight out of Portage. Josh Webb out of Lisbon in the 18X machine rolling on right now. I believe that's going to be Logan McPeak in the 75X out of the Diamond. Aaron Jacobs is in the number 10 out of Suffield. Looks like we still got one more to go, the number 96. With on my sheet back here, we only got one. It doesn't appear to be on the track this time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go! And the U-Class is underway. Here at the next they are running on the time with these young drivers on this stage. This is the way for these youngsters to learn. So they are looking for the time. And this is a little bit. On these large yellow side. Yeah, it's been keeping the hammer down. Hard bit bump. Oh, looks like they have one yellow flag already. A real good time out here doing something. What happened out there? That's what it's all about. Having fun. Last time, trouble open on up there. This high flat around on there. Used to follow. That's a double zero machine. Out of hot that's the 18X. Bring her on down at a high rate of speed. My goodness, what a hit out of the Joshua Webb. Run out of Elizabeth. Rolling on down to 98. At this time. 9:35. Bring her down the track center. Water. Very close to about 18X. Oh, I don't know the trouble. Out there. Just there, something going on. That is the unfortunate part of simulation system where you're in the hard cars and the small cars. Mechanical failures definitely cause you a lot of grief and headache. There's up to 122 F. Anthony Pete. 72. I'm calling it as well. That's Alex Silver. So first got a lot of coming out through here. Great simulation dirty action here in this event. Now the youth class is going to be paid. Out here, 750 to win, 500 second, 250 for third in this youth event class here. Again, this is a great way for these youngsters to get all the support right now. Looks like SC40 junior up there on the roof down, trying to get that machine refired. Good name, very familiar around here. Bigger in the truck. Rolling around. That big monster out of a Randolph. Right on down to that. 25. Okay, hold on. A round of applause definitely needs to go out as well for the brave adult in the passenger seat and all of these. We appreciate them bit towards these young men. We're ready to go ahead and turn loose. Let's go get the action back underway. Here's the youth event. Bill ladies and gentlemen. Night number 2 here. And there. We have a couple on the timer right now. Today, step 2. Being on fire here at track. Liberal. 25 are rolling on in. Liberal quite a bit, but we're at the heater right now. center of the track. All out on one of these drivers right now. Josh Webb, hard hits on her. Looks like he's 71 going on back down. There's a whole lot of roots down. That's more of a kill on the timer right now. Looks like time did expire for JF2D Crosser. Movement going on. Looks like they have. Actually, no, the top of the instead of Claire and Big flying out. Number 10, still rolling strong. Aaron Jacobs out of Suffield. They say there's an axle broke. I'm not sure what's going on, but something's definitely getting broken up together. From making its way to the top of the 871 with the advantage. This time that stuff going rip down. There goes the red flag, folks. The red flag is up, and the checkered flag is heading down toward the 8-71, driven by Seth Nolan of Roottown. And that vehicle popped by O'Neill's drive-thru and Andrew Estesa. And there is your winner, Seth Nolan. First time out the 8-7-1 machine, a very respectable second place finish for Dylan Master, and the number 10 out of Wayland. By West Branch Career. And our third place driver has already been figured out. That's the orange machine. Like Lee Lovejoy out of Ravenna is going to be leading things off here. There's no back to the D91 out of Brookfield. 136, that's Tanner Blair is also out of Brookfield. And Randers is another 200 out of Diamond. 18, another article out of Deerfield. Josh Reed out of Roottown. The 538 on in. That's Shane Day out of Ravenna. Here comes the 8819 filling out of Orion. On top with and Elvis Photography. 841, Jason Lovejoy out of Ravenna. Look right on that door. Really needs them. Comes the 1811X, Jeff Eldridge out of Suffield, sponsored by BC Bullseye and Eldridge Photography. The 1977, that's Jennifer Sutton out of Akron. This is Jennifer's first simulation 30, so keep an eye on the 1977. Here's the jukebox machine, that's Bill Joy out of Melbourne. Finally, this is going to be Grady Kinder out of Napoleon, the 11-28. That's going to round out our field of the Fashion Lead car.
Oh, this one's going to be better. There's not as many cars in there.
This should be right.
Oh, yeah?
4, 3, 2, 1, let's go! And they are off and running here in the Fashion Lead class. As part of the night number 2, the Fashion Lead 2. Now we're going to take down the last speed of the Good down to the last four vehicles run. We got Tom Carson, 817, all guaranteed prize money. We got 1,500 750 second, 500 Looks like time did expire on the second one of the kids right now. The big contact with the line car. So that's not the mark for the 718. Out of the side. Warriors up the big concrete wall. The tank was pitched on the last night. 177X up against the infield side. Barricade with no turn. Only distance at 177X. Direction. Contact again. Making contact with the line car. The RC is close high on the line of 177. Change day. Up, we are down to two. The 177X Tanner Warriors finishing in third place right now. So the 1-2 finish between Jason Musgrove and Shane Day. Jason Musgrove on the wheel, the 841. Shane Day on the high, the 38. Flames dancing out of the exhaust to the 841. That's a little bit on the rip side. Close line underneath the line 38. You can tell the 841. Just a wee bit on the rip side with those flames coming out there. Thermal flames out the exhaust. Looks like you may just be on the cusp of getting that thing refired. The referee is keeping those on. Last contact made by the 538 Shane Day. Both vehicles. Lights knocked out of them at this time. There's the movement out of the 841. Jason Musgrove out of Brooklyn. Counter back corner. You can see that motor is running hot. The flames alternating out of each side. At this point in time, both of them are back out. Starters getting the workout right now. Both drivers have a Ravenna. 38 Shane Day.
Huh?
Jason Musgrove, the 841. 841 was the last contact.
Now, since that other guy started up and then moved the other car, he's the last one right now. He should be the winner, right?
841 or wherever.
Yeah.
841 or 847.
Because the other guy hasn't restarted at all.
Right.
There go the red flags, folks. The red flags are flying. Okay, the calling was the 841 was bumper to bumper. And it was not a hit, it was actually a shove. The last aggressive hit, the referee said, was in the 5:38. Even though the time ran out, the last contact and the last hit came from the 5:38. A shove is not a hit. The referees down on the track with the 5:38 was the last aggressive hit and not a shove when they were bumper to bumper out there. That's what happened. That was the call on the track. The officials are on the track right now. The 5:38 taking the checkers this time. That was Shane Day in first. Second is the 841, James Ludwig. Get both drivers out of Ravenna. Referee Mike George Long had against it. He leading things off. It's number 9, the LC Company. Looks like number 12, Eric Long had against the LC Company. Matt Whelan in the 171 out of the Ridgefield coming on right now. That's the 119. That's Marty Shields in the tie-dye 119 out of Akron. Here comes the 44. Currently at a Newton Hall, front by West Branch base 10. Tackle. The 119. The orange machine is Joe Lee out of Salem. The 97 Duncan High School out of the Randolph, front by Portage Interiors as well. Number 12 is the next run. That's Tyler Steele out of Ravenna. Rick Haley behind the wheel of the 812 out of that's going to be the 50 XL rolling on right now. That's just broken out of Rooftown. Any guys is in the 630 out of Ravenna. Off the side. Chris Rivers in the 715 out of Chesterland. Off the side. Collision track. Cody Christie's in the high, 157 out of the Youngstown. And what do you know, looks like he's getting sponsored as well. Here comes the number 88, Mike Missouri out of Ravenna, sponsored by Collision Craft. Number 5, the 5th through 5, that's Thomas Mangold out of Randolph. The 727 coming on right now. Brandon Kingston out of Strutfield. I'm sure the number on that one as well, the 06 1/2. That is Tony Smith out of Commodore. The 18X. Carter Bidwell out of Bellingville. One coming on right now. Number 4 is the second out of Atwater. At the 83, that's Jason Webb out of Atwater. I do have 804 Mike McLaughlin out of Kent. Then a half is Haley Pastor out of Wayland, the WD-40. Sam Kumos out of the Rockfield. Okay, it looks like we have the 75X Hunter McPeak out of Diamond signed up. The 823 Andrea Kumos out of Brimfield. The 68 Brendan Simmons out of Brimfield. David Walker, the 23 out of Akron. The 3.14 Daniel Mars out of Randolph. And the 88 Zach Cotter out of Atwater. Mostly all of those drivers made it on. I know we had a few of them slip in where I wasn't able to read the number by the time they got parked. Okay, it looks like the green flags are flying all the way around the track. Drivers and referees are ready, so help me count them down. 5, 4, still have one of our pit drivers. That's Paul, number 9. Making a great lane. Actually, like 51. Trying to get that thing moving at this time.